And it's already entered, actually. All right. Please take your seats. So are you getting the right image? Not yet. Okay. How is everybody feeling? How is everybody feeling? Awesome. Okay, awesome. Right. How is everybody looking? More awesome. Okay. This particular few hours, these few hours between now and 11, with a short break in between, the objective of this experience is to shine the light on the goodness within each one of us. Everything begins with a story. And so I'd like to share a story as to how I discovered this practice many years back. We were working with a large organization called Larsen and Toubro, and we were helping them with this whole aspect of total quality management, which is to work with their senior leadership team and get every single employee of the organization involved into understanding the whole philosophy of total quality management. And that's when the quality approach, the Six Sigma approach, teaches everybody to identify what the real problems in companies are and find solutions to problems so that the problems don't reoccur. One of the issues and problems they were discussing was why some people were leaving at that time the company. The typical issue that many people study, attrition in crucial areas. And then the thought came to me, because I had been exposed to this principle, that why don't we turn the argument on its head? Instead of studying why people leave, why don't we study why people stay? When you begin to understand the root cause of success, not the root cause of failure, then the discovery leads you into a completely different direction. For instance, we discovered in Larsen and Toubro, and this story came out as the epitome of the Larsen and Toubro culture. Mr. Hawk Larsen, this Danish person, and Mr. Toubro, two Danes came to India before India was free from the British in order to work in this country. And they liked India so much, even though it was the poorest country in the world, amongst the poorest. But they liked the people so much that they stayed back and decided to create a company which was called by the two names Larsen and Toubro. Many years later, Mr. Hawk Larsen, the founder of the company, after having handed over the management to the other professional leaders of L&T, went back to Europe because he was getting old. But when he went back, this driver who was working with him, he said, "Sir, I've worked with you for so long, I want to go with you." So Mr. Larsen was able to arrange a visa for him to come with him to live in Denmark. Many years later, this driver was also getting very old, so he became ill. So he told Mr. Larsen, "I want to die in my own country." He didn't have any other members of his family. So Mr. Larson said, yes, I will accompany you. And he came with his driver and was at his bedside for several weeks while he was in his last few moments. He was at his bedside continuously. The founder of the company coming with his old driver to help him to achieve a peaceful end. What does this teach us about the values of the company? And why is it that this question was asked, how can we increase the level of ownership and belongingness among those people who for some reason don't have it? And how do we create that? The solution was to make that happen. So that took us into a completely different direction, because before that many consultants and experts were saying, oh, we have to match the salaries of the multinational companies, oh, we have to give these kind of new titles. So it was all money and title oriented solution. Whereas whatever, it was completely different. And which really enabled the company to do extremely well. I share this story because this is the essence of what we are going to practice today. Appreciative inquiry is to inquire into why are you happy, not why are you sad. What causes you to be completely happy and what enables you to be like that. So, rather than talk more about it, just as a first exercise, which is going to take just a minute, you're going to turn to one person sitting next to you and say, why were you happy yesterday? What made you happy yesterday? Just something very simple. Okay? Just think about it and share with the person sitting next to you. Why were you happy yesterday? Just turn to the person sitting next to you. One on one. You do with each other. You do. Form pairs and share in a minute.
तो यहाँ से अच्छा है ना सब कुछ, यहाँ पे जहाँ पे आपने पकड़ा वहाँ से अच्छा है, पूरा क्लास आ रहा है, पूरा क्लास आ रहा है पूरा तो नहीं ठीक है। यहाँ पर राइट पे नहीं है तो क्या करेगा यहाँ पर।
Okay, that's it. Just 1 minute. What did you learn? Did you hear? Okay, just let's hear the first example of. Did you hear somebody say that? Yeah, what did he say?
He said, but he can talk for a long period of time that makes him happy.
That's what made him happy. Okay, great. Give him a big hand. What did you do?
Avani told me that today is his interview, so that's why he's happy. Dr. Das told me he prepared 80 questions for mock interviews today. Anil told me that they have a cricket match on Sunday. He got his cricket team structured well, so he's happy also.
Very good.
Ragnesh told me that he was yesterday and he was high. He was very happy.
Happy of a different kind. He lost track of all that he knew. Therefore, he was happy.
Abhijit told me that he was happy because he got time to sleep yesterday.
Story number 2. A friend of mine, his name is Paul Baczynski, was a professor at a university in Ohio called Case Western Reserve University. At that time, in the 80s, General Motors was facing extremely tough competition from Japanese, which had entered the US. So much so that the big three in Detroit didn't know what hit them. So Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors were in serious trouble. And the first response in General Motors was therefore to start closing different factories because they were laying off people. And there was this factory close to Cleveland, Ohio, which is where they were closing it down. And they were persuading corporate management in Detroit to give them some more time before they took the decision to close the plant. But the entire township, the economy depended upon this particular plant. But the corporate management found it very difficult to agree because enough time had been given to try to turn the plant around. But the models they were making, the parts they were making, they were not really required given the huge problems in the market. At the same time, there were people in the plant who said, we should find a way of taking everybody along, even if we have to do this painful process of closing the plant, we should do it in a way that really makes it least painful for people. So they turned to Paul Baczynski and his team and said, can you invent a process for us that will lead to the best way, for the least painful way to have this closure? So here's what happened. They prepared for this whole process. They worked with the people, but now I will describe just the final day. In the morning, all the employees of the plant, they were dressed up in black. The mood was very somber. And it was like going to a funeral. So the whole conversation this morning was to recite the obituary and the last words for this being the plant being laid to rest. And everybody was really very sad. Even the people in the local community, the small mom and pop shops which were doing business with the people, everybody was very sad that this plant is about to close and it would destroy so many people's lives and so on and so forth. But in the afternoon, the mood was completely different. People were wearing colorful clothing. And they were asked to interview one another, which is something you will learn today. They were asked to interview one another, when were we at our best? What made us give off our joyful best? Where did that come from? How was that enabled? Who all contributed to it? What was unique about that wonderful work they did? And what are the strengths of the people in that plant and the capability that is present in the plant, which they would like to honor? So it was a celebration of the positives in the plant. And this is something which was not known to corporate management who was invited. They got confused, what's going on here? And then the last session was, if we have to fully leverage the power of the strengths of this plant, how can we create a compelling future for this plant? And people came up with powerful imagery about the preferred future. Now the guy from corporate office who was a finance guy was very confused. He said, hey, I thought we are closing this plant. What is this whole thing about? So Paul Baczynski said, you know what? I just wanted you to know before you close this plant that there is some major capability present in this plant that General Motors needs to honor. And so then all the local leaders of the plant went to senior management and said, you know what, we want 6 months. Can you postpone your decision to close this plant by 6 months? And we are going to do new things for General Motors, which we would like to discuss with you, where the people here can create more value for the company. And thus began the new movement in corporate America. There was a young PhD scholar working with Paul Baczynski. This PhD scholar's name is David Cooper. And there was an Indian professor working there, Suresh Srivastava. And there was another wonderful professor there called Ronald Fry. Suresh Srivastava, Ronald, David Cooper, Paul Baczynski. In their midst was born a new science, which since then is called the birth of Appreciative Inquiry. It is positive psychology at work. Instead of focusing on what is absent, focus on what is present. And learn to leverage what you have rather than what you don't have. Don't moan about things that are missing. Celebrate what is present and say, what can we do with this? And the whole department of positive psychology was created. It's become a worldwide movement since then. I have the great privilege of working with Paul Baczynski. He's a dear friend. He's also come and taught a course in soil. He now lives in Vienna. And he and his other wonderful colleagues called Dr. Kathy Tandler came to India, and we did some very large work in India in transforming all major companies using the power of positive psychology and involving people at the grassroots level. And I'll explain that to you later. Now, I just want, in your teams, the natural team that you have, I just want you to talk to each other for 5 minutes and say, what do I learn from this small case study? What do I learn from this case study of the model that I just heard? So work in your team, 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, I'm going to ask some of you to say, what did you learn out of this small example?
This complete back the board.
So please wrap up in 1 minute. Okay. Let me request this group now. You can start discussing. Let's ask this group to share.
Basically, sir, from the story that you just shared with all of us,
Firstly, you mentioned that we are supposed to leverage on what strengths we have and not mourn for what we don't have. So, as these guys also did when their plant was about to close or shut down, they actually tried to find out the strengths, and out of that they could get new ideas. So that is how we should like do in our own lives as well. And I guess this is the art of positive psychology and appreciative inquiry. So, yes.
Okay, let's give them a big hand.
We said that the appreciative inquiry is one of the key, maybe the main key for succeeding in this case. That the power of actions is very important, and also, as you were saying, leveraging on what we have, no, we don't have, and then the positivity brings hope. And the fact that when you are happy, everything will be fine.
Okay, good.
We noted that there was enthusiasm in the team because of the positive inquiry that they did about each other, as well as they developed a kind of attitude among them. It was more like a team building exercise, as it brought all of them together in order to change their situation, empowered them to even go beyond what they were capable of, sir, and it brought positivity to the team.
Great. Okay.
Whatever be the situation, even in case of huge failure, there is some still hope and capability and something within us. And with the help of positive psychology and appreciative inquiry, we can leverage this hope or capability into big opportunities and success.
Wonderful. In my self-leadership class, did I talk to you about the asylum in Oregon? And the story about that? Story number 3. And then we will actually practice appreciative inquiry. Many years back, there was this asylum in Oregon. I heard this story from somebody called Anil of Tech Mahindra. In Tech Mahindra, they were trying to find out as to how transformation takes place. So they had teams which went to all over the world to learn. One team went to North America to learn from their experience. And they learned from this healthcare provider, the asylum. The story is about how that asylum has patients who were so ill that they were kept in solitary confinement. They were chained. And people did not have the opportunity even to talk to each other. Medicine was brought to them, they would take the medicine. Food was brought to them, and after they had done their job, a hose pipe was brought to clean them. So this is the way it was like wild animals are handled. This is the way these inmates were being handled. The young man who joined there, the young who would ask the doctor, why do you do this? He had social work background. He was not a mental health doctor. So he would ask these questions, why do you treat people like this? And they said, you don't know, you don't belong to this field. If we were to follow what you are saying, they will kill each other. This young man didn't believe this is true, but he didn't have any power. He was just at the bottom of the organization. Many years later, this man kept on getting promoted into the company, became the administrator of the hospital. And then the CEO, the director of this hospital left, and the search committee was not able to find a replacement for a long time. So then one person of the search committee, the board said, why don't we get this young man, who now was in his 30s, to become the interim CEO for this hospital. So he was given this opportunity to be the interim CEO. Now he began to do some strange things. He began to, without taking permission, because now he was the boss, he began to enter the cells of the inmates and began eye-to-eye contact. Initially, people would not respond to him and they would be having very strange looks in their eyes, but he would just go and observe and just smile and be with them. Bit by bit, people got used to his entering their space. Then he began to talk to them, ask questions and listen with full attention. Listen with unconditional love and judgment, without any judgment. And they began to talk to him. He took the risk of freeing up some of them and making them talk to each other. They were not hitting each other, or they began to respond to each other. He reduced their medicine dose. For the first time, he saw a smile on one of the patient's faces. Nobody had seen them smile ever. Now they were learning to start a new life. A few months later, he persuaded some neighbors in the community to request them, please call these patients to your home for a beverage. And I will come with them with security cards, so if they turn violent, I take the responsibility. There was something sincere about this young man that the people agreed. The patients began to accompany him to the neighborhood. They were very nice. They began to share their stories. He just told the neighbors, ask, don't tell. Ask about them. Take genuine interest in them. Don't give them any advice. Don't tell your stories. Pay complete attention. Get to know them and discover them. A few months later, they became so fond of those patients that they began to invite them to stay as their weekend guests. Now they were being treated like family. Now the medicine was reduced further. There was no solitary confinement. People were improving. A few months later, they formed a cooperative society, and he taught them skills to make printed circuit boards. They became suppliers to HP. 2 years later, they got the best global award for the best supplier. The medicines had been stopped. Finally, the asylum was closed, and every patient went back to their home fully healed. Thus began the biggest transformation program in mental health care in the world. Similar experiments were taken to prisoners who were confined to life imprisonment. And I have also experienced the power of one such organization, but that would be another story. So let me stop here. And I just want you to ask yourself the question, what are the wonderful things we learned out of the story? What is it that this person did? And what are the important insights you are getting out of this short story? So talk amongst yourself later. Right now, I want you to be in complete silence. You have your own notebook and your own pen. You remember in my class, you always do that. So just make notes to yourself. What did I learn from this book? In silence. Just take a few minutes. If some of you have forgotten your notebook and pen, as an exception, I permit you to use your cell phone to make notes. Okay, I'm going to ask some of you to share. Give your name and share your insights.
Hello, I'm Arpana. I believe if a person shows little love and care, so the other person can change. I think the why teaches just because of the resentment in a person. Everyone wants to be heard and feel appreciated. And there comes the why teacher if they don't get the love and care that they believe they deserve. So little care and concern towards them can change their perspective.
My learning from this is like no one should be isolated and the people should be made to express their feelings and they should be in a community like that they can share their feelings with their so that it will bring out their emotions as well as reduce their interest. And it can have a joy.
What is your name?
My name is Anil.
Ankit.
Anil.
Anand. You are from Tamil Nadu. Ama. Okay.
My name is Shreya K. And through this story, I've learned three things. That it's very important to understand others and show immense amount of empathy. Love is the way to heal. And the third is to heal people, it's important to make them part of your life instead of isolating them. So these are the three.
Give it a big hand, yes.
From this water like this, don't let them feel apart and alone. Also, you have to treat them normally, normal person. Then only they will come out and they will share their emotions. So when you treat them as equal, they are not different like others. So then they will share their feelings. They will come out with their feelings. So I think that made it normal. So treating them as equal, you are not very different from others. So you are like everyone. So that's the reason the people come.
What is your name?
Gandhi.
Gandhi. Do people invariably Gandhi ji? Okay. Okay.
My name is Rajni Masu. So I personally feel that if we treat people with love and try to talk to them, give attention, it will solve any problem that they have.
Okay. Now you're going to do the first practice of appreciative inquiry. Before that, I want to ask you a question. Why are grandparents and grandchildren best friends? They have a common enemy.
They both react in a way very childlike. So obviously the child is obviously very young, but the grandfather or the grandmother, they both are at a stage where they have a mindset where the reactions to the comments of the grandchild or the opposite party, they both are very, very lively and okay. Like ऐसा हुआ था. So very kind of that those expressions are very. What should I say?
Yes. So you remember we did something like this in the self-creation class also. So today you are going to really learn to practice in a disciplined way appreciative inquiry. You're going to talk like grandparents and grandchildren do. You're going to talk like children do. But there are 5 dimensions to it I want to teach you today. The first, you You have to learn to be completely, your mind has to get prepared to be completely forgetting all the other things that are on your mind. Priyanka is thinking of this bank loan that she has to get sanctioned. Signa is thinking about this next proposal that she is sending. All these guys are working on some very mission critical things, right? For a few moments, you have to forget the resume. For a few moments, just prepare your mind. First, prepare your mind. Practice a bit of soothing now. Be aware of your breath. Calm down. Relax. Okay? Shall we do that? As the first step? Okay, so we are going to do a little bit of practice of quietening our mind. And we are going to do that through a simple exercise. So please sit wherever you are sitting with your back erect, on your knees, or in chin mudra, as Sudhi would say. Or like this. Okay? Like this or like this. Let your whole body relax. Think of the calm blue ocean on a warm sunny day. Not a cloud in the sky. The waves arise, they disappear. Let my whole body relax. Relax my forehead, relax my forehead. Relax my eyes, relax my eyes. Relax my nose, relax my nose. Relax my cheeks, relax my cheeks. Relax my ears, relax my ears. Chin, relax my chin. My whole face is getting gradually relaxed. Relax my neck, let all the muscles of my neck relax. Let all the pain and aches disappear. The back of my head, the back of my neck are also getting gradually relaxed. Relax my shoulders, relax my shoulders. Relax my arms, both my arms, my forearms, my palms, my thumb, all my fingers. They're getting relaxed. Fingers, the thumb, the palm, forearms, the elbows, the upper arms. The shoulders are all relaxed. Relax my upper back, relax my upper back. Let all the muscles of my back relax. Relax my upper chest, relax my upper chest. Relax my stomach, relax my stomach. Relax my lower back, relax my lower back. Let all the muscles of my lower back relax. Relax my hips, relax my hips. My backside, relax my backside, my hips. Relax my thighs, relax my thighs. Relax my knees, relax my knees. Let all the pain and aches disappear from my knees. Relax my calves, relax my calves. Relax my ankles, relax my ankles. Relax my feet. Relax my feet. The soles of my feet are relaxed. The toes are relaxed. My whole body is relaxed. I am like the calm blue ocean. just like the waves gently arise in me, they disappear in me. I am aware of the sensations as I take deep breaths. I breathe in and I breathe out. I am the observer of my body. I can hear sounds through my ears. As my eyes are closed, I can see the darkness in front of my eyes. I'm aware of my breath. I'm aware of all my senses, the way my hands are touching my knees, in my mouth of the food that I ate today, the smells around me of people of the room. I'm aware. I am the observer of my body. I am the observer of the five senses. I am the observer of the process of perception, of listening, seeing, touching, smelling, tasting. As I just observe my breath and the senses, I'm also aware of the emotions that arise in me. The emotions that make me happy in the moment. The emotions right now that may be causing anxiety. Both come from my heart like waves in the ocean. They come, they go. I am not the emotional mind, nor am I the emotions that are being created, nor am I the process of feeling the emotions. I am the observer of the emotional mind. I am the observer of the emotions. I am the observer of the process of feeling. Emotions come like the wave, they disappear. I am the ocean. I am the subject, not the object. I'm also aware of the thoughts as I speak, as you hear me talk. There are thoughts in your mind. They come, they disappear. The thoughts are coming from your intellect or your brain. They are creating waves of thoughts, of images. I am not the brain or the intellect that is creating the thoughts, nor am I the different thoughts, nor am I the process of thinking. I am the master. Thoughts like waves arising. I am the observer of my brain, the observer of thoughts, the observer of thinking. We will chant the three sounds, A, U, Ma, separately. While chanting A, I will put my right hand and cup it on my head. And I'll take a deep breath and chant. Then I'll keep my hand on my heart and I will chant Om. Then I'll put my hand on my gut and I will chant Ma. I'll fold my hands together and I'll take a deep breath and we will chant Om 3 times. Put my hands down into Chin Mudra on the knees and just observe the silence within. Identify with the silence. Gently rub your hands, rub your face, rub your eyes, and gently open your eyes. How is everyone feeling? So first step, be totally calm. Before beginning appreciative inquiry, to understand others, become completely calm. Okay. Children don't need to do this, they are generally very happy and calm. It doesn't take them more than a few seconds to get into total attention. These adults, our minds keep traveling in so many directions that we need to train our minds to be calm. Children can immediately give attention if they find something interesting. As we get older, we have too many candidates for attention, so they become distracted easily. So calm. The second, observe the other person the way they are, not the way you are. Observe the way they are. Just observe. When you begin the conversation, just acknowledge, observe, look into the person's eyes. I have taught you some of these exercises in self-leadership. Just make eye-to-eye contact and acknowledge the person. Number 3, listen as if your life depends on it. Listen as if your life depends on it. Number 4, ask questions. And what is the most question? The Mool Mantra of Appreciative Inquiry. When were you at your joyful best? Recall a time in your life when you were at your joyful best. You may choose to talk about the last 6 months in soil, or you may choose to talk about something else. You're going to interview one another. When were you at your joyful best? Not when you were a small kid that you only remember when you were 4. No. when were you at your joyful best in the recent past? The first question. Then ask, in appreciative inquiry, we say, when you are learning about people at their best, the best is coming from them from deep inside, from the source of all being, which we call the life-giving force. The science of appreciative inquiry involves a journey to study how people take energy from their source. That's why we say it is resource, meaning go back to your source. And when we say human resource, the real meaning of human resource is how do human beings go back to their source to take the generative power of the life-giving force. All people's best work comes from deep inside. The power to the body comes from there, the power to the emotional mind comes from there, the power to the intellect and to the creative energy within them comes from there. So track the life-giving force. So how do you do that? When you listen to people as if your life depends on it, when you are observing and acknowledging others the way they are, you are feeling the happiness they are experiencing. You are literally reliving what they are telling you. This is not about you, this is not about your worries, your tension, your problems, or even your happiness right now. You are identifying soul to soul. You are completely accepting what the other person is saying. So, how will you talk? As if every moment is new. The question you will ask, like a child asks, is that so? Is that so? And whatever the person says, you must have wonder in your eyes and your body. Don't become tired listeners. Don't say, "Arey pratik फिर से शुरू हो गया." You understand? तो वही कहानी बोलता है. Don't judge. ये वैसे भी शुरू हो गया. ये इशारे से बोलती है. Don't. You understand that? Don't try to judge people like that. Don't try to predict what they are going to do. Don't let your intellect interfere with your being fully present. Don't judge, don't use biases, don't say, "Yeah, इसने उस दिन ऐसे किया था मेरे साथ, अब ये क्या बोल रहा है?" Nothing like that. Okay? So have the wonder in the eyes. Is that so? I was giving them some Hindi examples just to local. Basically, what I was saying is that people become so used to each other that they begin to almost predict what the other person is saying and they forget to be fully present. So the joy of discovering as if every moment you are giving a new birth. Every moment when anything is special. You get it? So the question you may ask to track the life-giving force is ultimately where did this come from? And where did that come from? And where did that come from? Keep on asking questions, where did that come from? As an example, today I heard a video of Swami Chinmayananda early in the morning when I go for a walk. I listen to a small video. And this video said, Swami Chinmayananda was explaining that a story of how Sardar Patel sent a group of 5 bright scientists to discover why India's forests were diminishing and why is it that there were too many unconditional problems that were coming up. Issues like storms, floods. Some parts of the country were experiencing serious problems. So he asked these 5 scientists and they went all over the world to study. And when they came back, when they were asked to finally come back and explain, and Sardar Patel asked, what have you discovered out of all your research? They said, "Sir, it is because Indians are spending too much time inside the bedroom and they are not able to control their urges." So what do you mean by that? He said, for most of the poor people in India, the entertainment is only being in bed and having sex. Thereby, they are producing too many children. There is no control on India's population. Because there are too many people in these poor places and villages and so on, they are cutting too many trees. Because of that, the forests are getting degraded. Because of which, there is uncontrollable this. So when they began by saying people don't control their urges inside the bedroom, the scientist looked at Sachdev Patel and said that. That fellow first got angry. What is he saying? So, no man, when you listen without judgment, which then Patel said, let me quieten down, these are 5 wise scientists, I should not just disregard, even though it seemed like an amusing thing to begin with. But they have identified the root cause of the problem, which is population, and because of that also the poor people, population, because procreation is entertainment for them. They have no other form of entertainment. You understand that? It's a very basic way of entertaining each other. So, that means if you want to solve this problem, you have to take care of something else to divert their mind. And in those places, best method of birth control is not just cold shower, it is something else. Right? So this is something very interesting. And Swamiji was telling it like a story to explain that the power of the mind is fully present. Then you learn new things. So today you will inquire into the real root cause of the person's joyfulness. What made the person do the best? When were you at the joyful best? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Now, some of you are engineers. Therefore, you have a scientific bent of mind, and therefore you like to ask the 5 W's and 1 H. When did the problem occur? Where did it occur? Who all were involved? When did it end? Where? Who? And asking why 5 times? Asking why 5 times? When you ask the 5th time, that's just a metaphor. Then you identify the root cause of the problem. Today, while asking these questions in a childlike spirit, if you like, if you want to use your engineering mind, ask, track the root cause of success. At the end of the brief interview with each other, you will come back and share, this is the reason why this person gave the best performance in the past. Which, not just any best performance that made him the happiest. Performance is not marks in exams only. It may not just be scoring a century of debut for his cricket team. May not be even the wonderful R&A club that she did in front of so many people for Bharatanatyam. Not just those achievements, it could be anything. I organized a great Durga Puja in my community. And I and my team did a super job. Or the way I worked here for the festival of beautification of this campus. Whatever it is, you will talk to each other. So, first step, quieten yourself. Second step, observe the way person is acknowledged. Third step, listen as if your life depends on it. Fourth step, ask questions to inquire. A physicist inquires. A lawyer inquires to find out what is the problem. The policeman inquires to find out what is wrong with you. The physicist inquires to what is present inside you. So this is the physicist inquiry, not the inquiry of the lawyer or the policeman. Both words are inquire. Depends on something is spelled with I, something is spelled with E. Both are called inquire, but one is inquiring for what is present without any agenda. The other is inquiry to confirm your own hypothesis. Most of us inquire to confirm what we know or what we think is right in our opinion. Then we justify that. This is actual researcher present, what is present. Why is this being caused? Okay? You'll interview each other, but each time the person says, you smile with all your heart and acknowledge and appreciate. Is that so? Is that what you did? Is that what you did, Miss Bhattacharya? Is that where this came from? And acknowledge as if this is the full power of what is present, okay? And the last step is to just keep making notes if you forget what the person is saying. But don't lose eye-to-eye contact. Learn to write even when you are looking and acknowledging and smiling. Appreciate the person continuously. Okay? So you're going to take 10 minutes each. You're going to choose a person in this room whom you don't know that well. Okay? You're going to choose somebody whom you don't know that well. The staff members present here, if they like, they can do it with each other also, or they can do it with this group. Okay? So quickly choose your partner and somebody whom you don't know that well, and you're going to ask when was the other person at the joyful best, and do all these wonderful things I told you. At the end, you will come and say, this is the root cause of this person's success. This is the strength of this person that you discover. Okay? A quick exercise, 10 minutes each. So let's come back after 20 minutes. You can sit in any part of the room or you can go outside. But you choose somebody you don't know that well. Okay, can we get everybody back? Let's all come back. Okay, let's conclude our session now. Okay, let's conclude whatever we are discussing at this moment, and let's sit in our leave. Let's all sit down in our respective groups. Let's sit down in our respective groups. Will you all please sit down in your respective groups? So Sachdev is your partner back? Not yet. Okay. All right. before we broke for this session, there were 5 things I encourage you to do. 1, completely calm your mind so that you could learn to be fully present. We did that with a small meditation before we left. Relaxed our body, relaxed our mind, relaxed the way we were thinking, so that we became identified with the source within us. That was the small meditation that we did to become calm. The second was that we begin an exercise of discovering the other person. Just observe the person, look into the eyes, acknowledge the person. So learning to observe it without any judgment. The third was having that childlike curiosity to learn and listen with your full heart. Listen as if your life depends on it. And the fourth was to ask the question, when were you at your joyful best? And whatever the person says, we say, is that so? Is that so? So it's like wonderful gift of listening to the other like a child. The ears of the child. There are 2 phrases I don't want you to ever forget. 2 phrases that I want you to note down, which I hope you will never forget. When you are with someone else and trying to discover what gives that person happiness. Not what gives you happiness. This is not about you, this is about that person. Then you are learning to appreciate where that person is coming from. And you are listening as if your life depends on it, and you are encouraging the person as you encourage more. Is that so? Is that what happened? Is that what you did? That person opens up and talks more and more and more about that person's moments of joy. And then you discover by asking helpful questions, where did that come from? How were you able to achieve that? What made you overcome all those fears that you had in your heart? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Till you identify the true strength in the other person, the gift that have been given to him by the Lord himself. Because every human being who comes to this planet has been blessed with 3 aspects. Every person who comes to the planet is unique. The person has been sent here for a specific purpose. Every human being has a purpose. The day he discovers the answer to that question is the rebirth of the person. Why am I here? The second most profound question that you discover, what have I been blessed with to accomplish? Why am I here? What are my gifts? Every human being has been blessed with the gifts to do the Lord's work. The reason why you are here. You have those gifts. You've been programmed and sent to planet Earth with these 2. The reason why you should take human form and the strengths you already have inside you. All of education is to answer these 2 questions. Why am I here? What have I been blessed with? And how do I learn to use my gifts towards my purpose? When I learn to use my own strengths towards what really matters to me, I always do my best work. There is no compromise. I am excellence. So the part that you were asked to discover was excellence in the other person. And come back and share the reasons why that person. So this is just a short exercise you did in discovering. So there are 2 answers I would like from you. When you were talking to each other and listening with the ears of the child, where you were listening with the ears of the child, and whatever was being expressed, you were mining for the gold. Meaning, wow, is It's like a real treasure. So I want you to now just reflect a moment in silence and tell me, when you did this with each other over 20 minutes, A, how did you experience the process? And B, what did you discover as the gift in the other person? The most wonderful quality you discovered in the other person. So take a moment to reflect and answers to these two questions. How did I experience the process? And what did I discover in the person? Okay? Come and stand here. Come and stand here and share what you experienced about the process and what did you discover in your person, in your partner. And say who you are.
My name is Kritika, and I have an interactive query session with Palak. Palak and I, we are friends in source. We've talked a lot, but today while talking to her, I actually came to know a lot of things which I didn't knew. I know her, but I didn't knew what she was actually. So there are two things which I found out about her. She's a self-driven person, very content in her own self. She does not care what others will think. She first takes care of her happiness and she does what she likes to do. I think that's a very good quality when you don't think what others will think. That means you're never discouraged and you're happy in your own self. Second thing which I learned about her was that she stands for truth. Be it her friends, be it her parents. If she finds something wrong in them, she will stand as what she believes in as the truth, and she will confront them that you are wrong. So that are two qualities which I learned about her, and I would like to adapt and know.
Wonderful. So tell everybody, how did you experience the process and what did you discover in your partner?
So about the process, I think, like she said, we have talked before, but because of appreciative inquiry, we could actually delve into what from where we are coming. So about her, I think she's one person who constantly adapts. She's into adapting to whatever is coming to her way. She's from a family who has been pampering her throughout, and hence she couldn't create her own moments because she was always being protected, kept aside, always driven by different forces. So she told me about that one trip that happened 3 years back, which was very special to her because that was the first change in her life where she could actually make her own moments, and from those moments she could actually create more moments. So that is what I learned, and I'm definitely looking forward.
Very good. You did only 3 minutes with Sachdev and went away somewhere else. Are you his partner or there's someone else? No. With whom did you have the dialogue? Where is he? Ajay is still downstairs. Okay. Let me turn to you, sir, and your partner. Who is your partner? Who is the person you talk to? Come, both of you come and stand here. Share something about the experience. What did you learn from the process? What did you learn about the process and what did you learn about her?
When I talked to Yasha about the strengths.
No, first tell how was the process of talking to each other? What did you learn about appreciative inquiry? What did you feel?
When I feel that it leaves a very positive aura of a particular person. Whenever a person is facing any sort of difficulties in his or her life, and if they turn out, or if they treat it in a very positive aspect, half of the problem is solved at that point only. And as far as Yasha is concerned, I know that she is a very confident person, and the thing which I learned, it was just that whenever she takes a stand, she lives by it. And for example, today when we were discussing it, so one of the discussions was that since we have interned with Aditya Birla, the company is coming today. So I asked her that why are you not opting for that, and what difficulty do you face? So she told me that although it's a very great opportunity, but I don't feel that opportunity is for me. And
so you are not focusing on the happiest moment. Your direction went into something else. You hit the opposite of appreciative inquiry, which is to focus on what was missing. You can do that also from a good listening point of view. That also helps you to understand that person. But her job was to explain to you your happiest moment, not the challenging moment. Okay? Did you discover anything about his happiest moments?
So, sir, when we actually discussed about this, I'm not too sure whether it was his happiest moment, but actually, the thing is that we all come across a lot of happy moments in our lives. But then when we are asked to think about it, we are not able to come up with, like one exact moment. But for Aishwarya, I just want to say something that he's someone I absolutely did not know in like first 2-3 months of term one. But when I came across him, he's actually someone who's very confident, and he exhibits a lot of positivity, which is something that I would
what did he share with you today?
Actually, he is.
And from that, what strengths did you discover? Okay, you seem to have not done the process. That's okay. Let's give them a hand anyway for not doing it. Out of them not honoring this process, also there is learning. That means something is preventing them to do appreciative inquiry with each other, which you have to process. Where is that coming from? What made you not give attention to what you were asked to do? It teaches you something about who you are, how you identify what you are trying to do this process. That itself is learning. You don't have to follow anything that the process says, but that teaches you that there is something inside you that prevented you from doing this process. On the other hand, you went away to the immediate here and now, something else that was on your mind. And that typically happens. People find it very difficult to do appreciative inquiry, because the human brain is hardwired to look at what is wrong with the person. Most of us are hardwired to discover problems around us. It requires a lot of effort to practice appreciative inquiry, because it is not easy. It's very difficult to talk about somebody else's goodness and to appreciate that. It's not easy for you to be kind and generous and appreciative to others. It's not easy for you to do that. Because if you have had a life in which it is very difficult for you to do so, it's possible you have not been treated like that. So it's very difficult for you to practice it with others. That itself is learning. Which means if you don't consciously change, you are not going to find the power of this new science that people are discovering worldwide, which makes you a far better leader. In your knowing that you struggle to be a far better leader, you discover that it's very hard for you to do appreciative inquiry. Some of you chose to do something else at this time. You chose not to do this exercise. You went and did the usual thing, let me have a cigarette, let me have chai, let me do something else. You avoided doing this exercise. But in that also there is learning. Why did you avoid? What made you less intimate with the other person? What was coming in the way is itself something to be understood. You have to appreciate that nature and say, okay, I am here today. How do I make the transformation? Okay? But you may say, what is this every time in soil we are made to do this? I could see some of you extremely joyful even in the way you were doing it. Okay? So, let me ask. You can stand there only and speak. Go ahead. Yes, please.
So, sir, about the process, I discovered that appreciative inquiry is one process which makes you find the best in the person you're talking to. And talking about Soumya, he told me that whenever he has the authority or the power, he loves doing things for people, and this gives him the major happiness. So that is what I learned about him.
And what did you learn about her?
I learned about Masood that whenever she listens to someone and able to resolve all the queries or problems, she finds happiness in others. So she's a very good listener and she's very caring, and that's what makes her happy every day.
Very good. Give both of them. When you talk to others with that childlike curiosity to learn and to say the ear of the child and mining for the good, you discover the strength. Now you are going to do step 2. The first D is discovery. Now I'm going to teach you the second D. Dream on the power of discovery. So what you're going to do now, you are going to sit down and on your own, for this you will require a paper and you will require a pen or any colorful, you can even choose one of the markers there. Say, if I have to fully leverage my gift towards making the life of people whom I care for better. I mean, there are two presumptions there. I am defining who are the people I care for. And what are their needs that I am inspired to serve? That's the first question. Who are the people in my life that matter to me? And what are their needs I am inspired to serve? That gives you some focus in life. For Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the whole world mattered to him. Doesn't matter which religion, which caste, which creed. We are honoring today Guru Purab. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was so blessed that he saw oneness in everybody. It takes a spiritual vision to evolve to that level where you wish the well-being of all. Even if your focus is somewhat limited, and you only think about the community in which you live, or your parents, or family, or the extended family, or your organization, whatever it is, that has given you some focus. The people you care about, their needs you are inspired to serve. Therefore, Chaitanya, the second question is, how will I use my gifts to work on this particular purpose? So what you have to make is a picture, just a beautiful picture that emerges. Dreams are made of powerful imagination of preferred future. When we dream at night, they are undigested thoughts. But when we dream during the day about the cause that is resonating deeply in my heart, it gives me a sense of total energy. But all the problems of life disappear when I am working for a cause, when I am working for a dream. So, before you find that big dream, even this small dream, my family, my little one, my people I care for, even that, if I have to serve their needs, how can I use my strengths in creating happiness for others? So could you just make a picture, if I am fully utilizing my strength, which I know I have, to make creating the well-being of those who matter to me, then what picture comes to my mind? I just want you to imagine a picture. For Bhavna, it might be her little 4-year-old, 4-year-old, 2.5-year-old little one. One day, achieving some excellence. She probably dreams about her little one becoming, and that kind of keeps her going, right? It's one of the things that happens. She has some image for his future. That's what she is, as a mother, hoping for, right? For someone else, it could be something else, but what is that image you hold close to your heart about the cause that matters to you? I want you to think of that image and draw that image, where you are utilizing your strength. So Bhavna has really in her dream seen that she has taught the right values to her son, and he's become an extremely accomplished person because of the values she has taught, and therefore her strengths are the way she will teach life lessons to her son, in the way she will share, as an example, I say. Okay? So please make a picture. Take the next 5 minutes to make a picture about your own strengths being used for the cause that matters to you, for the well-being of people who matter to you. Make a picture. If you don't have paper, borrow it from each other. I hope you have a pen. Take 5 minutes to make the picture. Focus on the picture. Draw a picture. Don't look at your phone. I don't want you to write words. I want you to draw a picture. Any image that comes to your mind, that image that stands for the way you are dreaming about the future, in which your strengths are being used for something that matters to you deeply. For example, when I think about the new campus we are creating, the image that comes to mind is 10 social entrepreneurs or soil students who have created a big solution to societal problems. And that these people are really taking, they are on the world stage, young social entrepreneurs who are disrupting the way we use technology to improve the life of people. That's why we are creating Manasa. We hope there will be leaders like that out of that campus that will do that. Just like we dream about some of you becoming truly inspired leaders at workplaces. Okay? You have to think about that. How are you using the power of that? The dreams that don't allow you to sleep, or the dreams which are undigested thoughts. Okay? Alright, who wants to go? Come and talk about your dream. Please. Where is the microphone? Give the microphone to Aishwarya. Somebody have the microphone. Talk about what are your strengths and what is your cause and how will you use the strengths toward the cause.
Okay. Since all of us are have started working in NGO, I chose NIT Foundation. So the dream was to have a better and educated India. And as most of you know that I belong to UP, and the level of education in UP is not that much good when you compare it to other states. And I've heard this while I was growing from many people that we don't have that much resources, we have talent, but people can't use it. And there are many young children who are not very much educated, they are not even striving towards education because they are not even aware of this importance which education has. So before coming to soil, also, and this is my long-term goal, that I want to start a particular organization which primarily focuses on various skill developments and builds up communication skills of various individuals, which can help them grow and make a difference in their lives and also in the lives of their families, which are if they are poverty stricken.
Okay, give him a big hand. Will you send word to Ajay? Where is he? I don't know. Tell him I want to see him. Ajay, come and share it. Tell who you are, tell what your dream is, tell what your strengths are.
Hi, I'm Nishan. So, that I think was, I think still is, that I'm very creative and I like to give suggestions and to solve people's problems by understanding them very empathetically and understand why those things, like I can emotionally connect with people on a very deep level. So that is one of my strengths and I really want to leverage on that. So the picture I draw using that set was 6 of my friends, we are drinking after 20 years, and we are discussing how far we have come, and 25 years back where we used to be. Like we were just in a college and we were discussing, and we just used to go around, have road trips, and discuss about life, and we were totally clueless. And after 20 years, we have come a far way, and we have discovered that we have created a big empire of solving biggest problems. Like one of the problems that usually people face was of one was that people are very much uneducated. So because my family is also from an education background, so we have created an education system which is not very much focused on monetary things, but is also on how to make people who are creative and leveraging on children's creativity, so they can actually make something which is much more, so that because in the future world there won't be much need of the knowledge but of creativity. So we will be focusing more on creative things and how those children can be more creative and emphasize on their creativity, so they can become good leaders, and they can actually solve the problems that might come in the future. So that was one of it.
Hello everyone. So I thought that the concept of spirituality and materialistic abundance is something that I would like to drive to individuals around me whom I can impact my life with. And by spiritual and materialistic abundance, I mean there needn't be a separate phase in someone's life to have a spiritual growth and have materialistic abundance. It can go hand in hand, and that's how I would like to take it forward with my loved ones.
Wonderful. Okay, one more and then we'll go to the next one.
My strength is that I take on things. So there are a lot of things, good things that keep on happening. So I look at various things and I take on the good things that I can and I use them for others' good as well. So the picture that I drew was that there was a staircase. Some people have already climbed that stairs and they are helping others to climb the stairs as well. This way we can build a society where everybody is in the same color. We can get Vasudev Kutumbakam, which was my school motto also, which means world is a family. So we all are in the same color, giving each other the strengths that we know. This way we can not only impact the organization that we work for or the community that we work for, the family where we belong to, but we can help in promotions. We can all be at the same level. That's fine.
You were Satvik's partner? Yes, sir. Why you were Satvik's partner? What happened to you? You have an interview today?
Yes, sir.
So you went for that?
No, sir. We were just calling interview at 10:45.
Okay, so you were somewhere else?
Yes, not correct. I was not.
Okay, so you didn't. Who else wants to share about their dream? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can stand here. I want the camera to capture your.
Okay, so my dream is actually to roam the world. So me and my husband, like, we are travel freaks. So since he's in army, he rarely gets a chance to actually travel outside India. So the picture I drew was the Paris Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, bullet train, scuba diving. So these are the things that we look forward in our maybe 5 years down the line. So that is one of the realistic things that I dreamt of at the moment. And one more thing is that by the age of 40, I want to travel 40 countries. Me and my family. So that is what.
Give them a big what is it about travel with your husband that creates a sense of well-being and happiness? Where does that come from?
I personally enjoy traveling, and since I'm also from a different background, so I've been raised like that every 2 to 3 years.
So both of, and he's from the same background as well. I'm serving the nation now. So both of us are very compatible in terms of traveling and meeting new people and adapting. And we've been to many parts of the nation, not outside it. So what I realized or what I experienced with him was a sense of togetherness, because since he's in army, most of the time he's away. So that is the only time that we can spend some quality time. And also, whenever we go, we usually get a souvenir from that place. So I have like few collections of those souvenirs which remind me of the places we've been together.
And what is it about discovering new places that gives you the sense of joy?
To realize, to see how beautiful the world is, and the world is more beautiful underwater.
Wow. And this aspect of finding the beauty in the world, what is it about you that makes you feel like that?
I feel happy when I go to different places and meet different people. Basically, like, I'm very impatient. I cannot stay at one place or at one thought.
Now that's what you're telling the other side, but what is it present inside you that makes you identify with the beauty outside?
Inside me. I don't know, some of my hobbies are like traveling and photography. So one reason is that
this aspect of identifying with the beauty in others and other people, where does that come from?
happiness within.
Just happiness within. Give us a big hand. This quest for learning about others, this joy of being together and discovering the happiness in others, little places, people, souvenirs, their culture, their habits. This comes from a deep place because there is a natural source inside us which wants to connect in the goodness in others. When you go to new places and say, oh my God, this person also, it's so nice to see the smile, it's so nice to see this culture. The reason we identify goodness in others is because there is goodness inside us. If I ask you what is the definition of what you call bad, you will give me many different answers. But if I ask you what is your definition of good, you will give me very similar answers. You can do this experiment. When you say bad, you will give very different examples. Each one will define bad in their own way. But goodness, that's why when we say even good morning, the original word came from God morning. Or when we say namaste, that source within me acknowledges that source within you. Similarly, when we say Sat Shri Akal, it's the same thing. That truth within me identifying with the Akal, the one which was not born, which is always present, beyond time and space, is that energy inside each one of us. So all the greetings are acknowledging from soul to soul, from the center of our being to the center of the other being. And the travel is just an excuse to build that connection with people. So now we will, so since morning we have seen two things. We have first learned about step process. When you are trying to inquire into somebody else's strength and discover their capabilities. The first step is to quiet down, shut your own mind and body and completely relax. Step number 2. Learn to observe people the way they are, not the way you are. Number 3. Listen as if your life depends. Number 4. Inquire into moments that give happiness to others, which describe them at their joyful best. Number 5. Ask questions like a child with wonder. Is that so? Is that so? That encourages you to inquire into the source of that person's joyful work. The strengths that help the person to become a far bigger leader than the person is. When the person is at their joyful best, they discover extraordinary things in themselves because they are directly operating with the soul. This is not for selfish reasons. Joyful, happy moments which last are because when you are playing in the zone, you are not doing it because of reward. You are not doing it because you are seeking something from somebody else. When you are at your absolute happiest best, the dancer and the dance become one and the same. The singer and the song become one and the same. In that every moment, time stops. There is complete, we call it attunement. To find a source of attunement in people, when you are tuning to the higher in you, and when you are not driven by egocentric desires, you are connected to the best in you. You look yourself in the mirror and say, what a fantastic leader. All doubts disappear. Oh, no, I am not capable of this, I am not this, I am this, what will happen if I do this, the interview, what questions they'll ask. What kind of nonsense the mind feeds. When you are at your happiest best, you know there is a divine force inside you. Nobody can take that from you. And with that childlike curiosity, when there is a genuine desire to learn, and you enable each other to learn, then you talk to each other to say, how can you leverage the gift that the Lord has given me to serve the needs of people that truly matter to me, to serve the well-being. When you serve others' well-being, you become a very attractive leader. When you're only talking about what is in it for me, you are the usual selfish, egocentric character who's trying to do things for herself. Then you are one amongst thousands of people who are just chasing the same thing. Nothing unique about you. Oh bloody what, I made $1 million at 30. If your cause in life is that narrow as that, at 30 your life is over. But if it is something bigger, creating well-being of all, that's what you discover through the power of appreciative inquiry. So firstly, discover who you are. Secondly, dream about the power of using your own gifts towards that cause. Now the thirdly, design. In design, when you design, they say the future is a design problem. Design, you will go and learn in Sachdev. And here is what I would like you to do. And I want to set the context. Many years back, Swami Chinmayananda wanted to express the gratitude of the Chinmaya mission towards all the great people in the Himalayas who have been selflessly serving all the spiritual masters. For hundreds of years, the poor people in the villages of Himachal Pradesh have honored and looked after all the seekers and spiritual teachers who have been living in their own space. They meditate, they are in the Himalayas, and when they feel hungry, they go what is called to ask for bhiksha, bhikshu. This is not begging. This is I go to the door of somebody. That person gives whatever that person from the heart can give. Person accepts with all humility. And these people, the people in the villages in Himachal, many of them I have experienced, even if they have one piece of bread at home, when somebody else comes, not just a spiritual teacher, even if you as a city dweller go to their house, they will give you the chapati and remain hungry. Because they say, the guest who came unannounced came from the Lord himself. That is the way they honor. right? That's why in Hindi we say Atithi, the person who came unannounced. Somebody is at the door. Please give what you can. This identification, when it was there, and so many hundreds of years people have served, Swami Chinmayananda said, we must build an ashram in Siddhabadi. Siddhabadi, the valley of the Siddhas. Siddhas, the realized people. We will build an ashram to honor the people of that state and that region who have given for hundreds of years solace to the Siddhas, the realized masters. For that purpose, the ashram was built, and then there was a doctor who came and said, I want to help the villagers nearby in their basic primary health care. And Dr. Kshama Maitre, who was this wonderful doctor from Maulana Azhar Medical College in Delhi, and she, by accident, discovered Swami Chinmayananda's work. She went there and followed the master, and she found this work had begun in the villages. So something happened to her inside. She said, I have found my life's calling. Kangra district at that time was one of the poorest in the country. The women were badly impoverished. Their husbands had turned alcoholics and they used to beat them up. They wouldn't work, they would make the women work and they would sit at home and drink. It is in this place that Shama Didi said, I will involve the people of the poorest people in the villages, or 900 villages where you could even not reach by foot. She said, let's start working at the grassroots level, and she started working with some people, just a handful of people, to say, let's make the difference. Today, the entire district has been transformed. The women who were impoverished and beaten up today have educated themselves. They have created self-help groups called Mahila Mandals. Hundreds of groups. They have started small microfinance projects. They have set up small businesses, taught themselves skills, become pretty well off. The entire villages of Kangra are now transformed. 1,000 villages have got transformed. Now there is, if you see, it will be like a very beautiful place now. Not like the poor village that I have seen when we started building the ashram in the 80s. And some of those women I remember from those days are now getting up and they become trainers, they make PowerPoint presentations on how to transform the community. And they have now created something called the Chinmaya Organization of Rural Development, God, which has trained thousands of NGO leaders in India. The National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, has sent 40,000 people to God for training. They have built a beautiful training center next to the ashram. You will go to God one day before the local election. Local election is there, you are going there one day, 9th of November is the election. You will go to the villages on 8th. And what you will go and do in teams, you will practice appreciative inquiry. The villagers are going to host you. They are going to show you, they will discuss their problems with you, but you must learn to do appreciative inquiry. Pick up one of the women there or one of the persons there and do one-to-one dialogue and say, tell me, when were you at your happiest place? Speak in the local language. Those who have trouble in Hindi must be in teams where other people can speak in Hindi clearly. And ask them follow-up questions. So where did that come from? Where did that come from? They'll say, Didi Amma did this or God did this. You know, where did that come from? What is it about you that enabled this whole thing to proceed further? Learn from how they use the power of their dreams. Learn from how they actually learned the discipline of making their future happen. Because after they started dreaming and they were exposed, then the discipline they had to learn to make their dream come true. That you must learn from that intention. I want us to do a small exercise right now. Before we go to Sadbadi and start discovering the answers from the villagers, I want you to choose this one thing that you looked at a dream, big or small, and say, if I have to make this happen, what are the things I will have to change in myself? What do I mean by that? I have my strengths which I'm going to use, but I have to learn the discipline of design, which means I have to make prioritization. What is it that I'm willing to give up to create the time in my life to work for the cause that matters to me? Designing the future means having clear priorities. That means I should be able to remove everything that is of no use from my daily life and create that time and space for what matters to me. Design is about prioritization. It's about choosing how to lead your own life. So take a few minutes to say, what are the time wasters in my life I need to give up right now, so that I can start working for the bigger things that are going to make me special leader. How do I spend my time today, which is, in my opinion, waste, and what will I fill it up with, which will make me an exceptional leader? So take 5 minutes. The discipline of design, giving up some time in my life for time waster, filling in things that matter to me. Okay. Stay on the subject when you are at Siddhpari. You won't get the answer right now. Just begin that. But when there will be space in Siddhpari, when you will be very inspired by what you will see there, by the villagers. Best time there is not merely to have fun. You must have lots of fun. It's a beautiful place. But along with that, spend some quiet time with yourself. Because that is also the beauty, where you will be at your best because you will get quiet time with yourself. And in that, you must make your plan to become a far better leader. Okay? Now, any initial thoughts anybody wants to express? Where is the microphone? Anybody who says that this is how I'm going to actually design my future? Anybody? Any volunteer? Any initial intention you want to share? Yes.
One way that I would like to change how I spend my time is...
Get up and speak to the camera. Somebody is recording you here today. Go ahead, speak.
So, one way I would like to change the way I spend my time is the unnecessary brooding that I usually do after becoming a football to other people's opinion. That unnecessary brooding actually kills a lot of time, which can be utilized in making the dream that I just dreamt true.
Wonderful. Let's give each other a hand. Yeah. She's going to get rid of the disease that what do others say in in Hindi. You will hear Nitya Shanti workshop on happiness there. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहते हैं? लोग. So she's decided to get rid of it. Wonderful. The fear of criticism and the creativity aspect. Okay, who wants to go next? Yes, my friend, get up and come here and with your full heart talk about your design plan for designing your future.
My name is Bharat Kalra from BLP, and actually this is also one of the examples I want to say, right? Waiting for others to raise hands. So I just want to grab the opportunity, take the initiative, and just go on. So that's one.
Seize the moment. Wonderful. Who wants to go next? Who wants to go next? Yes. Wonderful. Look to the camera.
Hello everyone, my name is Sachdev, and I actually don't read more of books, so I watch more of videos for learning purposes. But I'll definitely like to watch more books to improve my leadership skills, and that's it. Thank you.
Great. Ananda said 5 things to improve designing your future. First, be very mindful of the company of people you hang around with. Hang around with people who make you feel that you can achieve the impossible. Hang around with people who are inspired and not the mourners. Hang around with people who do not do backbiting about others. Hang around with people who discuss ideas and not people. Choose your company very carefully. Number 2, be very conscious of what you watch. Videos, literature. Be very mindful. Don't just read any WhatsApp stuff that people send you. That's all most of the time propaganda and false news. Don't waste your time. Number 3, be very mindful of what you read. What you read becomes your thought. What your thought becomes your action. Your action becomes character. There are some books which talk about all kinds of crazy things like horror stories and such things. No point in spending your time watching horror films and horror things. There's enough horror outside. You focus on what is present inside. Number 4, Vivekananda ji said, be very mindful of what you eat. What you eat forms your character. Don't just eat any stuff, don't just drink anything. If you're fond of alcohol, have your alcohol once in a while. Don't allow the alcohol to drink you. You drink the alcohol. You understand? Buddha was asked, what is a sin? He said anything in excess is sin. Lagao daru, lagao patiala. But don't allow it to govern you. Last, Swami Vivekananda said, in your attempt to change, remember it's a journey, it's not a destination. And so be kind to yourself and every day make small progress. Small progress every day is the journey. Don't wait for something big will happen in my life. Small, continuous improvement makes character come alive. And therefore, in the last 5 minutes of our workshop today, I am going to ask you to do a small thing to become a better leader. You are going to pick up this card. Each one will get cards. You are going to write one paragraph about somebody else, what you genuinely feel is positive in the person. Either a positive experience you had or the qualities you have observed. You will write that person and hand over to the person. Okay? So please distribute these cards. I'll give some to the middle of the class. You give here. Pick up the cards. Let's hope they run out. Please distribute quickly. If we don't have any card as students, some of you just write on a piece of paper and give. But I hope everyone will get some. Most of you will get a card. Yeah, give me actually. If you are not left with this, use ordinary paper. Isha gives some more people there. Does everyone have a card? Write the name of the person and write what you appreciated most about that person. Either something that happened or what you have observed in the person. The ones who are being interviewed by Aditya Birla Group, quickly write this and leave. The others just stay behind for a couple of minutes. Fast writing. Write spontaneously what comes from your heart. Don't think too much. Difficult to write on the glazed paper. You can write behind it. So Bhavna, next time when we print this, let's print different papers. That person is here. Give him. In a minute or two, we'll finish writing, and then some of us will read out to the others what we wrote, to honor them in everybody's presence. So please complete in 1 minute. Okay, you can later on also finish this. Even after the exercise is over, this space is available. You can continue to sit and write. So meanwhile, may I request who wants to give it to somebody and read it to that person for everybody's benefit?
My name is Tanvi. My card is for Bharat Gautam, and
yes, please.
Bharat, the kind of calmness that you have is beyond imagination. Not patient to a level that the others can only dream of, and the genuineness that you have in your face and in your actions shows how pure your heart is. He's a person who doesn't come in front of the audience and post about whatever he does, but he does all his work with utmost sincerity, and that is something that I would really like to learn from you, Bharat. And it's really an honor to know a person like you.
This is the Shreya Web. I would like to nominate.
And is your family watching online? Most probably, okay.
I became friends with her. She's not someone I became friends with the day one, but we became friends after a month. And you're someone who's made a huge difference to my life. Not only an amazing person and one of the best friends I've had here, but you're very positive, fun, loving, and always put me up when I'm down, always motivating me, and you take care of me as if I'm your sister. So thank you so much for being there, helping me, and being with us.
Shreya from Faizabad, Ayodhya. Wonderful place she comes from. Okay, yes.
This was Omnia. I don't know who's not here. So,
Go ahead, Soumya, somebody you can bring your shoe up to that point, yeah.
To the one person I can look up to for any kind of situation in life. Surviving here became easy. I don't care what people say about us. I know very well what we are for each other. We might fight way too much, but I know you will always have my back. Coming from the inexpressive friend of yours, Let the world judge. You will be my friend. I will always cherish from soil.
Who wants to go next? You want to go? Okay. There you want to go.
So this is for Megha. Megha, I would like to say that anybody can find the dirt in someone, but you are the one that finds the gold. To my favorite person in this whole school, I would like to say you inspire me with your selfless giving nature each day, every second. I'm sure you will rise in your life because you lift others with you. I'm glad to have met you. Picture of my party.
Sure, you say about that then. Both of them wrote cards for each other.
So she's always chirping and running around here all the time. So I couldn't think of anyone else beside her. So I just didn't point this, but I could think about her. She's very positive, vibrant, and joyful all the time. And she appreciates people around. She always has a zeal to learn. She knows what she wants and is focused, and she spreads joy wherever she's there. So I always like to be around her all the time.
Very good. Okay, one last person and then we will close the circle. Who wants to go last? Okay, Martha, go ahead.
So this is for you, Anil. You can change someone completely through your sessions. There are a lot to learn from you, and I always look forward to it. Thank you very much for all your support, love, and care you do for your people.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The closing circle. Come closing circle. Come. Make space for everybody. Find a way to hold someone else's hand next to you. Create, make it happen. Come. Create space for everybody. Let's cherish this particular moments where we gave ourselves the gift of having a dialogue of returning home, where we are childlike, where there is no judgment, where there is no fear, where we truly honor the best in each other and enable others to discover greatness within themselves when they dream to become far bigger leaders because they care to give, they care to make a difference. Let's give all of us a very big hand. For Sidbari. Sidbari, when you travel in the train, have fun, do everything. At a particular time, be mindful of others in the train who may need to sleep and you may not want to sleep. Be careful not to drink alcohol in the train. It's not only not allowed, it creates problems. There have been some kinds of earlier police complaints and so on. Be careful. You are brand ambassador for soil. Whatever you do is going to have an impact on the school. You want to have, you like your liquor, do it before you go to Sattva. For these few days, try to abstain. You are not supposed to drink either during the ashram or have drinks outside and enter the ashram. For these few days, please forget alcohol. Learn to live without it. Learn to live without tobacco and other substances. I don't know what you do, take. If you do. I'm not sure what everybody does, it's none of my business. But if you do have some addiction to any nicotine product, consume it outside the ashram. If you smoke, go and smoke outside the ashram, not inside the ashram. There are people meditating in the ashram. At 10 o'clock they go to sleep. Please, I know this is something you will find it difficult to do because you like to stay awake in the night. But when you are in the ashram, because there are meditators there living in the ashram, in small groups inside your own room, talk softly. Don't raise your voice and laugh because the meditators get disturbed. You are welcome to stay awake longer if you wish to, but do not create disturbance for the other inmates. You have to be very mindful, but the ashram is made available to us only because they honor the values of soil. And very rarely we have had some student groups with whom we have had some difficulties. Some of you will enjoy the atmosphere so much that you will choose just to remain in your room or go away to the stream nearby and you will not come for the main sessions. If there is a tendency inside you to do that, some amongst you are going to be appointed to make sure it doesn't happen. Don't pretend to have stomach problems when you have none. Don't pretend to have health problems while you are actually doing something else. Demonstrate high ethical standards. There will be enough time given to you to have fun. So, but when the sessions are there, pay attention. This is the most crucial time where we get you prepared, because when you come back, you are in the right spirit to be then facing the placement season. If there you go and don't honor time in the right way, you are not preparing yourself. And we have seen the students who did not take that whole process of learning seriously. Later on, they struggle a lot during the placement process. And later on, they say, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done this. Please, don't allow yourself and us to be put under pressure. When I come there, I will also explain to you, there is a space there where the masters, every morning in the ashram, there are two rituals that we invite you to be part of. There is a morning arti, where there is a few minutes of arti at the memorial where Swami Chimananda's body has been laid to rest. Spiritual masters are not cremated. Their body is buried or they are given to water. So, and people can actually feel the master's presence. Some of us, like I, will go there much before. I'll be probably up at 5 and I will be there in the place there sitting in quiet silence and meditating. Those of you who wish to do that are very welcome to sit there and meditate. At whatever time, in the winter I think it's perhaps 6:30, in summer it is 6 a.m. There is Aarti that is performed. Vaili is already here, please come. Aarti is performed. In the evening, similarly, there is a 6 p.m. Aarti which is performed. You are all welcome to join. In the evening, after the evening Aarti at that Samadhi, we go first to Ram Temple. It's one of the prettiest Ram temples in the world. If some of you feel that you do not want to follow the Hindu ritual because you have your own faith, please, you are very welcome not to participate in that. You can sit and do your own ibadat or pray to Lord Christ or whatever you like. Nobody is enforcing this on you. But many of my Catholic and Islamic friends come there just to experience the joy of their colleagues in celebrating that. From the Ram temple in the evening, the Aarti process goes to the rooms in which we will be sitting and having sessions. And there is the biggest Hanuman statue in the country there. You will also see that. When the ashram was being built, storms used to destroy the ashram's roof again and again. So one day when they brought the problem, the engineers to Swami Chitrananda, he closed his eyes and said, make the statue of Hanuman. Hanuman is the son of the wind god. If you build it here, the storm will not disturb you. Sure enough, the storms came, but the damage stopped. Some engineer may say because the statue is so big, it is changing the direction of the wind. But those who have faith believe the Hanuman is creating the well-being of all. So that is where the Hanuman Chalisa is read every day. How many of you know Hanuman Chalisa? I thought so. Large number of you know it, so you will enjoy singing it together then in the evening. And after that, this process in the evening takes 30 minutes. After that, there are sessions going to be there, and you will only be given a daily schedule. But these are the rituals that happen in the ashram. All of us wash our own utensils. All of us keep our own rooms clean. All of us carry our own bags. It's all self-service. Okay? The beautiful pine wood walk. As soon as you come out of the ashram on the right-hand side, lovely pine wood, you can go for walks there. In the night, don't go out of the ashram without torch or a stick. Panthers go in the neighborhood. Cases of children taken away by panthers and killed have happened. Be careful. This is the place which attracts panthers. In the hills, there is the big leopard that comes. So be careful. Don't go out just like that. Okay, be aware of your own safety. Okay, with all these words, just the last thing. When you go to the villages in teams and come back, that evening you are going to sit in teams and you are going to design what did you learn for the next day. You are supposed to share your learning through skits, through song, through dance, and through art, any creative expression. You are not just to come back and say, this is what we saw. No, no, no. You will work in teams, you will prepare skits, song, music, dance, and that is the best part for us. We will capture on video, we will also have special prizes for teams because you are going to use your creativity to share your learning, which you will spend the whole day in the villages. And one day before an election, I don't know what will happen. Maybe you can also ask the villages what's going on there. And you know, how are people taking responsibility for their own citizens' rights. Alright? And next morning when you are presenting creativity, you will meet the world leader, Dr. Shama Maitre. She was ranked recently amongst top 5 NGO leaders of the world by the Guardian newspaper. She was Padma Shri, honored by the government of India. Woman of the Year on Leaf magazine front cover. Dr. Shama Maitre. You will meet the legendary Dr. Shama Didi, who will spend and she will witness your output and she will bless you with her presence. That will happen the next day. Okay? I will join you on the 8th afternoon. You would have already spent some time and look through, and hopefully you will welcome some of us who arrive. Alright? Of course, you will welcome us only on 8th evening when you have returned back from the thing. We will therefore be there before. All the very best, and now of course from 11:45 onwards we are very blessed to have the whole experience of Sukhmani Sahib art, followed by Shabad Kirtan, followed by Hadas, and then Guru Kalanda. Okay? All the very best. Thank you very much. Thank you. You listen your name? Write your name in the wall. I know what you should write. No. No, please write your full name because I want you to enjoy it. Because I
पढ़िए सवेरे पानी जब साबुती सुन दिए तूने तेरी हीरा बाबूजी पढ़िए सवेरे पानी जब साबुती सुन दिए तूने तेरी हीरा बाबूजी पढ़िए सवेरे पानी जब साबुती सुन लिए तूने तेरे हीरा बाबूजी पढ़िए सवेरे पानी
एक बार गुरु गोविंद सिंह साहब सब खाई वाले सहाय गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब के उनके पाठ विधान का ध्यान बोलो जी
वाहेगुरु।
तन तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब मेरे पास सदगुरु आपकी निमंत्रण कृपा प्रिय स्थान के मुबारक चरण तुम पाठ के स्थान रास्ते आने या बयान को ना कितना होना होना बख्शना ना इस मत बख्शिश करना कृपा करो सिंहासन के प्रकाशमान हो निकुल दर्शन दीदार बख्शो स्वागत संतान निहाल करो दिनाथ नाम से मेरे बोले सोनिहाल सत श्री अकाल